Alright kids, get ready for a super fun moral story that'll totally inspire you. In the heart of a vast emerald forest where ancient trees touched the sky and a symphony of birdsong filled the air, lived a magnificent lion named Leo. Leo was truly king of his domain, the golden mane that shimmered in the sunlight and a roar that echoed through the valleys, commanding respect from every creature. Yet, despite his formidable presence, Leo was known for his surprisingly gentle nature. One sweltering afternoon, Leo, tired from a long patrol, sought refuge under the shade of a colossal oak tree. He stretched out, his powerful muscles relaxing, and soon drifted off into a deep, peaceful slumber. As Leo snored softly, a tiny, timid mouse named Pip scurried by, busy foraging for seeds. Pip was a cautious creature, always aware of the dangers lurking in the forest. Distracted by a particularly plump acorn, he didn't notice the enormous golden form until he had almost scampered right over Leo's paw. Startled, Pip let out a tiny squeak and, in his panic, accidentally ran right over the lion's nose. Leo's eyes snapped open. He lifted his massive paw, easily trapping the trembling Pip beneath it. Well, he rumbled, his voice low and deep. What have we here? A cheeky little snack, perhaps? Pip, his heart pounding like a drum, squeezed his eyes shut. Mighty Leo, king of the forest? He squeaked, his voice barely a whisper. Please, I beg of you, spare my life. I did not mean to disturb your rest. If you let me go, I promise, I will repay your kindness someday. You never know when even a tiny mouse might be able to help a great lion. Leo blinked. The thought of a tiny mouse helping him, the king of the jungle, was amusing. He let out a soft chuckle, a sound like dry leaves rustling. Repay me, little one.
What?
And how would a creature as small as you ever help a lion? Despite his amusement, Leo found himself intrigued by the mouse's plea. He released Pip, who scurried away as fast as his little legs could carry him, disappearing into the undergrowth with a grateful squeak. Leo merely shook his head and chuckled again, dismissing the encounter. Days turned into weeks, and the incident with the mouse faded from Leo's memory. He continued to reign over his forest, keeping a watchful eye on his kingdom. However, one crisp morning, as the sun began to peek through the trees, a new and dangerous presence entered the forest. A cunning hunter. This hunter was known for his stealth and his elaborate traps. He wasn't after food. He was after trophies, and a magnificent lion like Leo would be the ultimate prize. The hunter moved silently, setting a sturdy net trap. Almost invisible against the forest floor, woven from thick, strong ropes, he covered it with leaves and branches, making it perfectly disguised. Later that day, Leo, while on his usual patrol, padded confidently through a dense part of the forest. Lost in thought, he didn't notice the subtle shift in the ground beneath his paws. With a sudden lurch, he felt himself falling, and in a terrifying instant, the strong ropes of the net tightened around him, hoisting him high off the ground. Leo roared, a desperate, echoing sound of frustration and fear. He thrashed and struggled, his powerful claws tearing at the thick ropes, but they held firm. The more he fought, the tighter the net became, digging into his golden fur. He was trapped, vulnerable, and utterly helpless. His mighty roars of distress filled the forest, carrying on the wind. Miles away, Pip the mouse was gathering berries when the distinct sound of Leo's roars reached his tiny ears. He recognized the sound of distress, and a flicker of remembrance sparked in his mind. The lion who spared me, Pip thought. Without a moment's hesitation, he abandoned his berries and scurried in the direction of the roars. His little heart filled with determination. It took Pip a long time to navigate the vast distances, but finally he arrived at the scene. He found Leo suspended helplessly in the air, caught in the strong net, his roars growing weaker with exhaustion. Mighty Leo, Pip squeaked, his voice filled with concern. Leo looked down, surprised to see the tiny mouse. Little friend, he rumbled, his voice hoarse, I am caught. This net is too strong. I fear my time has come. Do not despair, King, Pip declared, his tiny eyes gleaming with purpose. Remember my promise? Today a little mouse will help a great lion. Leo watched, astonished, as Pip began to climb the ropes of the net. With his sharp teeth, the mouse started gnawing on the thickest strands. It was hard work for such a small creature. But Pip gnawed and gnawed, his tiny jaws working tirelessly. One strand broke, then another, was a slow process, but Pip was relentless. Hours passed. The hunter was due to return soon. Pip continued to gnaw, his jaw aching, but he didn't stop. Piece by piece, strand by strand, the strong ropes began to fray and weaken. Finally, with one last mighty effort, Pip chewed through the crucial last rope. With a loud snap, the net gave way, and Leo plummeted to the forest floor with a heavy thud. He was free. Leo stood up, shaking off the remains of the net, his body sore but his spirit soaring. He looked at the tiny mouse, who was now panting from exhaustion, his whiskers twitching. "Pip," Leo said, his voice filled with genuine gratitude, "you have saved my life. You kept your promise, even when I doubted you. I was wrong to call you useless. You are the bravest and most loyal friend a lion could ask for." From that day forward, Leo and Pip became the unlikeliest, yet the strongest of friends. Leo often carried Pip on his head or back, and they would patrol the forest together. All the animals in the forest learned a valuable lesson. True strength isn't just about size or power, but about kindness, humility, and the unexpected courage that can be found in the smallest of hearts. And they all lived happily, proving that even the most formidable creatures can benefit from the help of a tiny, loyal friend. What a day, right? That's a wrap for today, friends. I had a blast hanging out with you all. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. Can't wait to see you soon for more fun and laughs.